The Chicago Bears are once again making headlines, but this time it's for a move that hardly anyone predicted. In a decision that has already sparked debate across the fanbase, the Bears have signed kicker Jake Moody to their practice squad. For casual fans, this may seem like a minor roster adjustment. But for those who follow this team closely, this move speaks volumes about where the Bears currently stand, both with their special teams and their long-term outlook. Let's set the stage. Jake Moody is not just any kicker. He's a player who carried both hype and scrutiny the moment he entered the NFL. Drafted in the 3rd round by the San Francisco 49ers, his selection was instantly controversial. Drafting kickers that high is always risky. Expectations skyrocket, and the leash is incredibly short. While Moody had moments of promise, like knocking through big kicks during his rookie season and even hitting one in the Super Bowl, his tenure with San Francisco was defined by inconsistency. By the start of this season, his struggles became too glaring to ignore. Inconsistent performances during preseason bled into Week 1, where he missed a 27-yarder and had another blocked. San Francisco, a franchise with championship aspirations, couldn't afford to wait. They moved on, cutting ties just as the season was beginning. And that's when the Chicago Bears stepped in. At first glance, this may appear to be nothing more than a depth signing. But when you dig deeper, the layers become much more intriguing. Jake Moody doesn't just bring another leg to the roster, he brings a challenge. Specifically, a challenge to longtime starter Cairo Santos, who, while reliable inside of 50 yards, has limitations that have long capped the Bears' flexibility. Santos has been a steady presence, a kicker you can usually count on for accuracy in short and mid-range attempts. But modern football demands more. Teams expect their kickers to have the range and confidence to knock down 58, 59, even 60-yarders when the game is on the line. Think back to just Week 1 against Minnesota. The Bears watched their opponent confidently line up and drill a 59-yard field goal. Meanwhile, Santos pushed his lone 50-yard attempt wide. That's not just a missed kick, that's a 6-point swing in momentum, the kind of swing that can decide games. This is why the Jake Moody signing matters. It's about more than a kicker battle. It's about the Bears acknowledging that the margin for error in today's NFL is razor thin. It's about putting pressure on a veteran who has been comfortable in his role for too long. And it's about exploring whether a young player with a massive leg, but a shaky track record, can find stability in a new home. Now let's talk about the bigger picture. What does this move mean for the Chicago Bears moving forward? First, it tells us that Cairo Santos' job security is no longer guaranteed. He has served the Bears well, but when a team signs a kicker with the profile of Jake Moody, it's not just for practice depth. It's a direct message: improve, or risk being replaced. Santos' strength has always been accuracy in manageable ranges. Over the years, he has consistently delivered on attempts under 50 yards, even putting together a strong record in the 50 to 54 range. But the NFL has shifted. Fans see kickers like Justin Tucker and Harrison Butker consistently drilling long-range attempts. They see teams willing to push the envelope from nearly midfield because their kicker has the leg to do it. Meanwhile, with Santos, the Bears rarely even consider those options. In many situations, they either punt or go for it, decisions that are heavily influenced by Santos' lack of range. Enter Jake Moody. For all his inconsistency, one thing no one questions is his raw leg strength. He can attempt 58-yarders with confidence, and when he connects, the ball soars. The challenge with Moody isn't power, it's accuracy and mental toughness. And that's exactly why the Bears may be the right environment for him. Unlike San Francisco, where a Super Bowl window demanded perfection, Chicago offers something different: opportunity and patience. There's also the psychological factor. Kickers are notorious for being confidence-driven. Moody's story at Michigan proves this. During his college years, when he was in rhythm, he was one of the most reliable kickers in the nation. His junior season was especially impressive, where he connected on 23 of 25 attempts. But when his confidence wavered, his accuracy dipped. The Bears may believe that with the right coaching, mental reset, and less immediate pressure, Moody can rediscover the consistency that made him a high draft pick in the first place. It's also worth noting that this isn't just about Moody versus Santos. It's about competition. Head coach Ben Johnson has been vocal about pushing every position group to be better. Earlier this offseason, the Bears briefly carried another kicker, Jonathan Kim, in camp, though he didn't stick. That experiment showed that the team was at least considering alternatives. Signing Moody is the latest, and most serious, step in creating genuine competition. And here's where we pause for a moment. If you're a diehard Chicago Bears fan, this is the kind of breakdown you don't want to miss. This channel is all about delivering the latest news, in-depth analysis, and passionate discussion on every move your team makes. So if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. That way, you'll always stay one step ahead whenever the Bears shake things up, whether it's a major trade, a roster signing, or a surprising decision like bringing Jake Moody to Chicago. Back to the point, what's the realistic timeline for this kicker situation? It's unlikely Moody will immediately take over the starting job. For now, this is about practice reps, evaluation, and applying pressure. If Santos continues to struggle, missing key field goals or failing to deliver on kickoffs, Moody could find himself elevated. But if Santos steadies the ship, Moody becomes a long-term insurance policy, possibly setting himself up as the future starter down the line. The Bears know they can't afford to lose games because of special teams. Week 1 against Minnesota was a painful reminder. Missed kicks and limited range can shift not just points, but momentum, and momentum is everything in this league. Whether it's Santos rediscovering his best form under pressure or Moody finally finding his groove, the Bears are determined to fix this issue before it costs them again. While the headline is Jake Moody's arrival, the bigger story is about the Bears' approach to building a complete team. Too often in recent years, the Bears have fallen short in areas that championship-caliber franchises don't overlook. Special teams is one of those areas. Think about it. How many playoff games have been decided by kickers? How many seasons derailed by one bad miss? Bears fans don't even have to look far for reminders. The infamous double doink still lingers as a scar on this franchise. By signing Moody, the Bears are signaling that they refuse to let history repeat itself. They're not settling for good enough. They're willing to take risks, bring in competition, and explore every avenue to improve, even at a position most fans only think about when things go wrong. This also connects to the culture that head coach Ben Johnson and general manager Ryan Poles are trying to build. The message is clear: no one's job is safe. Whether you're a star quarterback or a veteran kicker, you're expected to perform at a high level, or someone else will get a chance to take your spot. That type of culture breeds accountability, and accountability breeds success. There's also a strategic element here. Imagine the ripple effects if Moody does pan out. Suddenly, the Bears' offense gains an extra 7 to 10 yards of flexibility every drive. Instead of stalling at the 38-yard line and facing a fourth down decision, you can confidently send Moody out to attempt a 56-yarder. That changes play calling, field position, and game strategy. It's not an exaggeration to say a strong-legged kicker can alter the entire complexion of an offense. Of course, the risk is real. Moody's inconsistency is no secret. Bears fans may find themselves holding their breath every time he lines up for a kick. But when you're a franchise that has struggled to find long-term stability at kicker since Robbie Gould's departure, you take calculated risks. And that's exactly what this move is, calculated. So where does this leave us? The Bears now have 2 kickers, one steady but limited, one powerful but unpredictable. Over the next several weeks, this storyline will quietly unfold in practices, warm-ups, and perhaps even live game situations. It won't grab the same headlines as a quarterback controversy or a blockbuster trade, but make no mistake, it could determine the outcome of games, and by extension, the Bears' entire season. Final thoughts: the Chicago Bears' decision to sign Jake Moody may seem like a small move in the grand scheme of things, but don't underestimate its significance. This is about more than just a kicker, it's about competition, accountability, and ambition. Cairo Santos has been a steady hand, but his limitations have been exposed. Jake Moody arrives with a huge leg and a chance to reset his career. Whether he succeeds or not, his presence alone ensures that the Bears are no longer settling. For a franchise that has been haunted by past special teams failures, this move represents a step toward breaking old patterns. It's a gamble, yes, but one worth taking. Because in today's NFL, where every yard and every point matters, having the right kicker can be the difference between heartbreak and triumph. Bears fans should watch this situation closely. It may not dominate the headlines, but it has the potential to shape the season. And in the process, it shows us that the Chicago Bears are serious about building a roster with no weak links, because in football, even the smallest details can define history.